Hi, Bristanna. Nice to
Hi,
see you.
Maria. Nice to see you too.
Thank you for coming here and being open to share your experience of family constellations. So you came to a group constellations online the other day, and I'm really interested in hearing how it was for you. So would you first tell me if you experienced this work before, both in person and online?
Yes, I have done in-person constellations before. Not online, so I was surprised that it went that well, actually. I didn't know what to expect, but I really yeah, I think it worked really well, even online. And that was a pleasant surprise.
I'm really happy to hear this because yes, online is a little bit of a different feeling because you can't see each other in the same way. So online, in comparison to when you do it in person, we used avatars, wooden avatars. Would you be able to share the difference, how you experience witnessing, what it is that you receive from witnessing and what it is that you receive that is different from representing, if that's okay?
I guess when you're witnessing, you're just having a bird's eye view of the dynamics that are at play, and it's just fascinating. Not just because I have keen curiosity and a passion for psychology myself, you know, not just because of that. That is first and foremost, but secondly, yeah, just see the interplay between people, elements, you know, situations. That I guess when you're only watching from the outside, you're able to gain that kind of insight, specific kind of insight. But then when you're representing and you become part of the unfolding narrative that is revealing through the constellation, it's like, wow, I become part of this dynamic whole that is you know, just showing new nuances and new perspectives by every move or everything. If everyone takes turns to say something, or you come and intervene and add a new question or a new direction, and it's just fascinating. There's just so much beauty and depth that can be revealed, yeah, when you're representing as well, even if you're not the main protagonist, so to speak, of the constellation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So just for anyone that hasn't experienced this work before, basically you can set up a constellation to show the dynamic between family members. So you have more of a clarity how family constellation, the dynamic is showing sometimes if there's people have this, they're not connected anymore. So if someone in your current family basically is kind of pulled away, they don't often come to family gatherings, for instance, or maybe there is conflict. And sometimes by setting up a constellation around that, you'll be able to more clearly see, not just see because you place family members in relation to each other, but then the people that represent different family members, they'll be able to receive insights into what's happening for that person and will share it out to the group. And it's possible to receive new insights into different perspectives, because quite often we as part of a family have our own perspective, but it's not very often that we're able to reach the person that is not included and hear their perspective. And by hearing their perspective in the constellation, it's possible to create more healing and actually include that family member again. So you can either set it up as a family constellation, or you can also set it up with different aspects of someone that wants to come and work on something such as their purpose. You can also set up a constellation around their purpose, which you'd have someone represent someone's purpose, and then someone else could be fear, for instance. So it's possible to have those different ways of setting up the constellations when I facilitate. And Christina, how do you feel that family constellations may be different and be something that you recommend people experiencing? in comparison to some other modalities that you've experienced that are maybe more where you talk rather than being more embodied? And yeah, could you say something about that?
Yeah, well, think about the experience. Think about the difference between talking about an experience and actually living it. So in talk therapies, you mainly talk about what happened or what is happening. But when you're in the constellation, you're feeling it, and the energy moves through you, and so you have these live, spontaneous intuitions or insights, because you feel yourself in relation to the other people who are part of the constellation, and that is just a whole nother dimension of doing this inner work than talking about it from like talking about it about as if it happened in the past, as if you're reliving it, but you're reliving it so that you can gain healing, and that is the purpose of doing that, doing the constellations. So yeah, I'm fascinated by this modality. I would love to study it more for myself because I'm a counselor myself in training. So definitely I feel that is a very powerful way of seeing things that are not easily accessible during normal therapy, or maybe they are, but it's just much more condensed. It's a much more condensed version of the work, so you can have really powerful shifts. And of course, I think it's important to also integrate the work afterwards. Whereas with talk therapy, you see your counselor or your therapist every week. So it's just a different way of having the work done in a more gradual way, like it's a bit more slowly, incrementally effective. Whereas with family constellation, in my experience, you have this very powerful moment, very powerful revelation that might take a while to integrate in your daily life and to affect your behavior, and but it's like a really powerful turning point. It can be sometimes for some people, I've noticed.
Thanks for sharing. And what is the style of therapy that you're learning right now? Would you like to share that as well?
Yeah, so I'm studying psychosynthesis psychology and psychotherapy, which is a psychospiritual approach to, it's a very holistic, integrative approach that works with all levels of the being, the mind, the body, the heart, the spirit. And it's all about supporting an individual with their emerging potential and helping them also to clear their blocks from their history, like Family Constellation does, but it's just a different way of doing it. I think there are as many modalities as there are people, and ultimately we all have our own unique journey to take. And whatever stage we are in life, we might need one or another kind of approach or healing modality. And it's wonderful to experiment with, as many as you feel drawn to. But it's also beautiful to sometimes take a moment in life to deepen in one or the other, and stay committed to one and see what happens if you deepen into that. So yeah, that is my experience.
Thanks for sharing. And yeah, it sounds really interesting what you're doing, and I'd love to experience that one day too. And I'm just curious, what was it that pulled you in to want to experience the online constellation? In what moment did you realize that you wanted to join?
Well, I guess I've heard from some of my friends who've been participating in your groups before, and they've always had wonderful words to share about their experiences, and I wanted to try it out for myself. And I've been to your women's circles before, and I've always enjoyed the wonderful, soft, safe, welcoming space that you create for people to drop deeper in themselves and to come into a deeper place of self-love, self-acceptance, and self-empowerment. So I thought I would give it a go with your constellations as well.
Oh, it was so lovely to have you there. Yes, just to explain that in this modality, I really feel that each person that comes have their own gifts to bring as well as that you're receiving. So it's beautiful to be able to experience people that way, and therefore I feel really grateful that you came with your specific gifts and really felt your presence in your group. So thank you so much, and thank you for being open to having this chat. And is there anything else that you feel that you'd like to share that might help someone else that hasn't experienced this modality before?
I'd say come with an open mind, an open heart, and it's okay not to know what to expect, and just allow yourself to be revealed something new, something that can potentially be having a positive impact on your life. Sometimes, yeah, it can be confusing to welcome in new ways of seeing, but at the same time, it can be life enhancing to be open and to see how would it be to think about your life situation in a new way.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to also experiencing your work one day. And you're very welcome to come back. And yeah, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for having.
My pleasure.